So you mentioned you before that you didn't want to be one of those statistics. Why does that statistic exist? I guess because you lose your dream job, right? And
Well, well, the statistic happens because guys don't have a plan or a structure for what to do with the rest of their life. And there's other factors as well. The number one factor in players having to declare bankruptcy is divorce. And that's because the players have been used to having a job, having a purpose, having a reason for getting up, and they go do that in the NFL. When you're out of the NFL, you don't have that structure. There's no one telling you where to go, where to be, when to practice, when to eat. You don't have that. So then it ends up being a little bit of a sometimes state of depression, state of anxiety. And what do? They come home and they try to bring that same attitude, depending upon who the player is, of running the household the way sometimes they were running things playing football. And I've talked to a few former players' wives and asked them, they said a lot of them said kind of the same thing, that some players are just really hard to live with because without football, the identity is gone. And then they sometimes feel that the player becomes another child. And then they feel that they're taking care of their children, their family, the household, then their husband who doesn't have a purpose. And because of that, there's a disconnect at times, things can go awry, and then unfortunately, divorce happens. And there's a high, I think I saw, I think the statistic is within 3 years of retirement, like between 70 to 75% of African American football players, NFL retired players, get divorced.
it's not just the NFL, it's also in the NHL too.
Sure.
I know that other sports go through the same thing, and it's the divorces, all of that. Yeah, and if left unchecked, that pain can fester for a long time.
Absolutely, it can. So, for me, I went through the same process. After all that, April 2013 to September 2013, it was really hard. And I worked a couple different jobs, got fired from jobs, had to become an entrepreneur. And, my wife gave me basically an ultimatum like, hey, Marcus, you need to get up off this couch, take one day to sulk in being fired from two jobs in the same week, and then start back up again. And that's what got me going, because without her saying that, Debbie, I don't know if I would have had the drive or the inspiration to actually get up and make a change.
Bonnie sounds like your superhero. She's the one that saved
She,
you from the
she
she pulled
saved
you up from the ashes.
she saved me from myself and
Yeah.
allowed me to rise out of the ashes. Very well said.